we are going to get started. Wow. This wasn't a video that I intended to make, okay? But I'm sitting down at my dining table right now and I have paperwork everywhere. I'm in concept mode of this huge renovation that I'm about to embark on. And concept is the phase that I typically stay on the longest, whether or not it's a project, like a tiny little project for myself, or even like a full scale, a custom home build for my clients. Concept mode for me is really just a chance for me to think, reflect, kind of put all of the puzzle pieces together and dream before reality hits and we start talking budgets. Okay, I'm not even there yet. I don't want to be inundated with the reality of having to spend money on this project. I just, I want to kind of bask in this like concept phase where I'm completely inspired. But here's what we have going on in today's video. We're going to talk floor plans. We're going to talk feng shui. We're also going to be addressing the huge bonsai in my atrium that I gotta say, I mean, a lot of the audience, you guys had things to say about this bonsai, okay? And I'm actually gonna break that down for you as well in my feng shui analysis. So we're gonna consider this kind of like half the plans for the home. We are going to weave in feng shui because you can't deny it. We are also embarking on Lunar New Year that's coming up in like less than a month's time. And this is why it's so important for you to figure out the feng shui of your home right now, especially before all of those flying stars land on February 4th to stay for the entire year. I don't want to confuse you, but we're gonna go into detail with flying stars. And I was trying to figure out whether or not I was gonna make a separate video for that, just for members who are like really serious about feng shui, or kind of give you guys an introduction to flying star feng shui, because it can get, it's crazy, okay? But beyond it getting crazy, I kind of even want to show you guys what my worksheet looks like for flying stars feng shui. And this is just my home, the current home that I'm sitting in. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of computation. It's a lot of math. So let me know, just give me like a little comment. Yes, Julie, more flying star feng shui, or, let's just bring it back to basics and introduce us a little bit more into the basics of feng shui before we get really, really convoluted. I'm so happy that you guys can join me today. This is a very impromptu video, clearly demonstrated by my impromptu outfit. I'm wearing Hello Kitty today. I was actually tripling with my girls this morning. I sent them off in these like Hello Kitty t-shirts, and I thought, you know what? I want to put on a little Hello Kitty jacket today too. Okay, so let's get started, you guys. Let's talk about the floor plan. I think that was something that all of the audience, like all the viewers wanted. Like, where's the floor plan, Julie? I need to follow along. I don't really understand the layout of this home without you showing us a floor plan. So here it is, you guys. We have a south-facing home, which is very in line with my direct quad number. Okay, so when you're talking about optimizing a home and feng shuiing it for the occupants of the home, you might wonder, like, I have a whole family that lives there. Like, who are we feng shuiing this for? And that's a really great question. I always want you to start there. When you embark on feng shui, start with your why. Like, why are you doing it? What about feng shui is exciting to you? What about it entices you? Do you feel as though, you can start to just implement some of my ideas and then magically your entire life is going to be better? Yes. It actually will be better, okay? I promise you. The more that the more heart you put into it, the more heart you put into your design, into your optimization, the more you're gonna benefit from it, because you'll understand energy flow and you'll see how chi kind of moves and meanders around your home. So that's always what I'm trying to achieve. So when I'm looking for a home, I always start with my quad number, okay? So you have a choice when you are feng shuiing your home for the occupants. So in this case, obviously, it's my family. It's myself, my husband, and then my 2 daughters. So you typically feng shui the home according to the breadwinner. In this case, I have my husband, who's just amazing, okay, you guys? I say this all the time, okay? Because your girl, I'm an artist. I'm really crazy. I bounce off ideas off myself and him, you know, just like it's a menu. So it's just like, it's really difficult for me to land sometimes because I'm just brimming with so many ideas. So for me, I'm optimizing the home for myself because he works corporate and he has a salary and I am an entrepreneur, and there is no cap to how much I can make in this lifetime, you know. So for me, I think that's the most beautiful thing about social media, is that not only am I able to connect with you guys, share my story, show you kind of like how my brain works, but at the same time, you know, I can support my family. I can cry. I think I say that in every single video, but I truly believe that. I believe that when I started YouTube, it was really a way for me to take back my time, okay, and my freedom. I've actually been working from home for, gosh, I want to say like 16 years now. And I've had my own business for those 16 years. So I'm never going back to an office. I will never go back to corporate because I know what I need. I need a space, I need a safe haven, a sanctuary that's really gonna uplift me, support my family, not only financially, but emotionally, because, you know, mama is the one who's kind of spearheading this entire operation. So I am feng shuiing the house for me, even though I looked for a property that had benefits for both my East group and his West group. So we're opposite. If you need a refresher on how to calculate your qual number, I will leave a video card right here. You can kind of just tap on that, but don't do that until the end of the video because I want you to come back, okay? So once you've figured out what your qual number is, this is when you can start to kind of isolate the different zones. You'll know the auspicious corners and the inauspicious corners for both yourself and your husband. Okay, so I am a qual number 4. I know that in my home, south is my health direction, which is why it was so important for me to look for a south-facing home. South-facing home is actually an inauspicious direction for my husband, who's a qual number 2, and he is in the West group. Okay, so West group. However, the current home that we're in right now is also a south-facing home. This is the first home that we've owned together, and it has been incredibly auspicious for both of us. You know, we got engaged in this house. I know that there's an engagement story. I mean, I'll pop that right here as well. You know, we got engaged in this house. He proposed to me on the day that we got our key. So this house not only holds special memories, but it's incredibly auspicious, which is why I won't let it go. The south-facing property was really important. You walk into the atrium, you know, on the floor plan, they list a courtyard. So the difference between a courtyard and an atrium, I mean, it's really just semantics at this point, but I do want to, you know, help educate you guys a little bit, just in case you're talking about a property or there's something that you're manifesting. Typically, a courtyard is an open air space that is not connected to the house. It has nothing to do with the layout of the house. It's really just an open air area that is in front of the home, doesn't have a structure that's connected to it, nor does it have like a roof or a ceiling. Now, an atrium, back in Roman times, atriums were connected to the building. They're usually in the center of a building, and they're surrounded by a structure. In ancient times, ancient Roman times, atriums were actually completely open to the sky. In modern times, you know, interior designers would call atriums something that has like a glass enclosure, a glass roof. It could be made out of like, I mean, you could use like a trellis or a pergola as well. But to me, an atrium is really just built as a part of the home, whereas a courtyard is like an extension of the home. It has nothing to do with it. Almost like a backyard. Really has nothing to do with the structure itself. A courtyard is like the front yard that's akin to the backyard, so you guys kind of understand. So we walk into the central atrium, and then we're met with also the front door. So the front door opens up into a landing zone. I actually love this landing zone because this is where I imagine, you know, we'll drop off our keys, our wallets, maybe some sunglasses, pretty much exactly what I have in my entry right now, because I have optimized it for like full functionality. Everything that you need to get in and out of the house really quickly, that's something that you should be putting at the entry. Now, one of the things that I was also looking for was this thing called a shotgun, okay? So according to Feng Shui, is really inauspicious energy. It's when you open the front door and then all of a sudden you have a clear visible line to either a window to the backyard, sliding glass doors to the backyard, or even anything that's open and you can see right to your backyard. Basically what that means is that when you walk through your front door, all of your auspicious energy, all of that great chi is going to escape your home as soon as it came in, because it has access points, right? It has a means of egress. You don't want that. What I love about my home is that there's actually a wall. It's enclosed. So I can put like a really beautiful entry console here. I can hide all of my junk, my valet. And you turn the corner and on either side, you're met with either the formal living room or like the moody family room. So I love that. I love having two sitting areas because that's how we entertain now in my current home. I just want you guys to take this design tip from me. It's really like allow your existing space, no matter where you are. I don't care if it's like a studio. I don't care if you're still living with your parents, okay? You need to use your current space, no matter how small or large, to help inform your future choices. You have to optimize each space. I mean, for me, interior design is, yes, I love all the bells and whistles. Yes, I love a beautiful space. I love finishes. I love materials. I love colors. But if it doesn't function, like you already lost before you even begin, okay? So make sure that your space functions exactly as you intend. And then once you're ready to level up, once you're ready to upgrade, you'll know exactly what you need for your next home or space. The family room and the living room is really just like a larger version of what I have now, and I'm so excited for it. I do have this small dining room, okay, small-ish dining room, and I intend to knock down this wall that is separating the kitchen from the dining room. Originally, when I walked into the space, I was like, you know what? I actually love the size of this kitchen. Maybe I just demo, you know, this wet bar so I can see into the kitchen. And then I started busting out my measuring tape. You know, I kind of, and this is before I even like measured the entire space. I came in with my measuring tape just to see how far does my dining table, my current dining table, how far does it pass this middle wall, like this wall that kind of separates the space? And it does. It kind of juts into where the backyard access is. And then I thought, you know what? If I knock down this wall between the kitchen and the dining room, not only am I going to bring in more light in the space, but the dining room will suddenly not feel so formal, that's number one, and also be an extension of this kitchen. I still have this middle center wall, I'll call it, to kind of divide the kitchen from the dining and the living room, and then also what's happening in the family room. But how can I bring more light into the space? How can chi flow better in this space? Now, mind you, I am obsessed with closed concept homes. Now, you know, closed concept versus open concept, there's always going to be an argument for it because it really just depends on what season of life you're in. The season of life I'm in is that my toddlers, not so toddler anymore, okay? They're young, wild, you know, babes who like love to play, who love to, you know, make noise. They're rowdy, and I love that. But at the same time, I do want them to have a dedicated space. I can kind of just close off this one area and have that, you know, noise reduction so I can work or focus on something else, right? Or at the same time, even the way we entertain right now, it's like a free-for-all, right? I invite so many families, like all of my friends have young kids, and we love it, except that we do want some distinction and space for them, as well as a separate space for the adults. Knocking down that wall just feels very conducive to my goals for the space. Now, we're not there yet, okay? Like I said, we're still in concept mode. I don't even dive into the finishes yet because this can, you know, this space can really be anything. And I love this phase, which is why I usually stay on this for a few months, unless like I'm on a timeline or a time constraint, which I kind of am. Time is a ticking, you know, and I'm pretty sure my family wants to move in. The first order of business is demolishing the kitchen because we need a functioning kitchen. The bathroom's already functioning. The finishes aren't that pretty, but that can wait. So right now, the kitchen is a completely isolated space. I would typically advise anyone embarking on a renovation to live in their homes before they actually renovate or do some major renovations because you don't really know how the space is going to breathe once you're in it. However, if you have young kids, if there's elderly parents that you care for, or you have pets, you want to do the bulk of the major work first. So that's why I'm doing the kitchen first. And of course, you know, we've got this popcorn ceiling, which did test for asbestos. So before we move in, we're going to remove all of that. I am getting some quotes on raising the ceiling, so that's something that I'm definitely going to share with you guys once I get some numbers in. I'm kind of like working this out in phases. I have a chunk of budget dedicated to the kitchen, and then I'm going to address some of the floors, because right now there's laminate flooring. They actually sold it as hardwood, and then I came in and I was like, oh, it does look like a hardwood. And then on closer inspection, I'm like, this is laminate, which also means I can paint it if I want right now on the first go around, just for me to experiment with color, because I know that I will demolish it. And the reason I'm demolishing it is because this is a pool house. Okay, there's gonna be water and moisture in every single part of the home, right? The backyard access has laminate flooring. The side access has half tile, half laminate. And I, you know, when I first walked into the home, I was always like, how did they get away with putting laminate on the floors? And then of course, you know, the neighbors tell us that they bought this as an income property. The owners don't even live in it, so it all makes perfect sense why the finishes look so new, right? So I'm planning on demolishing the kitchen, and a way for me to save on the budget is to keep all of the main appliances, water lines, especially gas lines next, exactly in the location that they're already in. When I toured the home for the first time, before we even put in an offer, this is how I knew. I was just like, I know they feng shui this space. I could tell because the way they laid everything out. So typically, the water line should be in the north sector of the home. Right now, it's actually on the west metal sector of the home, but metal and water have a very productive cycle, which means that they work in tandem with each other. Even though the west side is metal, you can use a north element like water on the west side. So they did that check. I mean, this is going to be left up to interpretation, but clearly it's my home. This is how I'm interpreting it. They have a cooktop on the north wall. The north wall is typically relegated to a water feature. So when water and fire are there, they kind of clash. So it kills the water element and all of its potential prosperity that's kind of tied along with it. They were very smart because they actually didn't run a gas line. It's just electric. My plan is to not put a gas line. I have electric right now, but my dream is induction. Why I want it is because I've been cooking on electric for over a decade. I like electric cooktop because it's easy to clean. Low maintenance is like key for me. I'm going to keep the stove in its original position, even though the stove represents fire, because I'm changing it to induction, which is really a magnet. To me, that's metal. So metal on a north water wall would work just as well. My intent is to keep the microwave and a secondary oven on the south wall. So at least I have some sort of fire element involved. Exactly kind of like what the previous homeowners did. Still, like I'm kind of still working out this zone right here, but I'll let you know. And if you have any insight, I mean, let me know what you think as well. I'm not doing any of these customizations yet. I'm only going to be customizing or demolishing and customizing the kitchen first. And anything that happens in the dining room, I will be putting my furniture in the place that I want it. And I talk to you guys about filler furniture all the time. And filler furniture really just means use the furniture or the pieces that you already have in your space. Make sure that it's the right size, the right scale. You know, the color, the finishes, the materials, that can come later. Once you know exactly how this filler piece of furniture works, if you optimize it exactly for your needs, it functions even better than you dream of, then that is when I would pour some money into an upgrade. But if you feel like you're in transition and you're still kind of moving things around, just work with what you have. Why are you spending money? I want you to feel more and decorate less, which is why feng shui is so important to me. I want you to feel out the energy of your home before you go and drop like tens of thousands of dollars on it. That's where I am right now. I'm not going to do anything major, aside for, you know, the kitchen, until we live in the home. Right off of my husband's office is garage access. We also have a pool bath in there. All of the bathrooms have really dated finishes in them, but they work. Moving on. So we've got all of the common areas, the public spaces kind of divided on one side. I remember I was telling you, like, this is why I love the floor plan. We can entertain on one side, and then you turn the corner and there's this whole east side that is the primary bedroom. It has the ensuite bath. We've got a secondary bedroom, which I'm turning into my dressing room. And I know that a lot of people feel as though, you know, a dressing room might be a luxury upgrade, and it really is. But you also have to understand that I implemented one of the rooms in my current home to be my walk-in closet. It's not just a dressing room, I film in there, you know, so I'm filming content in there. It's also a space for me to create. Every single room in my home serves double duty, which leads me to the girls' room. The girls will share a bedroom right now. You know, I'm not shy about saying that we co-sleep. It's just the truth. I love it. My husband loves it. My girls love it. They're fiercely independent. So if you're gonna talk about, you know, the independence and whether or not they grow, that's a non-issue for me. You know, I also co-slept with my parents as well, and look at me now. But also look at me now. Okay, your girls kind of. Their shared bedroom will probably house all of their toys right now in this era. I'm going to create kind of a playroom for them before we convert it into a full-fledged sleeping bedroom. When they're ready, I'll be ready. But right now, we will outfit it with a bed because my mom stays with me part-time. So grandma comes over, but she kind of like bounces around from all of my siblings' homes, and then she lands in mine. Just like how I have now. I have a girls' room, but mom sleeps in there. So the bedroom that you see here on the floor plan with the courtyard access is going to become my home office. This is less than half the size of my current home office, which I converted from my two-car garage. But I feel like since I have that open atrium access, it's gonna feel brighter, it's gonna feel airier in there, and I'll have a space to kind of like access in and out of, and it won't feel so claustrophobic. But I really do love this office space because it has the most amazing light in there, you guys. Natural light. I won't have to bust out all of like the soft boxes, ring lights and all at the same time. It's a very feel-good space that's also in my health zone. So we've got the floor plan completely covered. I want to move on to the feng shui aspect of this space and how I was able to demarcate where everyone is going to stay in this house. So I am an East group, Khuu number 4. My husband is a West group, Khuu number 2. His auspicious corners are mostly on the west side and also the northeast side. My auspicious corners are mostly on the east side, north and south. We are going to optimize the floor plan according to both of our Khuu numbers, and here's how you do it. You'll start by sketching out your floor plan. It doesn't have to be as formal as I did here. Take out a pen, a paper, you know, mark out your home. You may have missing corners, you may have an irregular shaped home, but it's really important that you overlay a 3x3 grid on it, almost like it looks like a tic-tac-toe board. Okay. Then you start to designate where's north, south, east, west, and then all of the secondary, you know, compass directions. If you don't know what the compass direction is or the orientation of your home, most smartphones have that app already built in. My iPhone does. I mean, you just tell it to open compass, and then you stand there no matter where you are in the home, usually at the center of the home. I take 2 compass readings. I'll do it standing from the front door facing out, like facing out into the street. Then you'll know what direction your home faces. So that's the facing direction of your home. And then I do another assessment once I'm inside the house. The compass directions don't change, okay? So but the inside of the home, like the middle of the home, kind of gives me a more accurate reading of where all of the directions are. And then I overlay that onto our map. Now, this is also a really huge reason why I don't look for properties with a secondary facing direction. No northeast, no southeast, no southwest, no northwest. I mean, it's just, feng shuiing your home is already as difficult enough as it is. Like, why am I adding more challenges to this practice, right? So I always want to simplify it as much as possible. I also love this home, and I feel like it has such great energy because it's almost a perfect square or rectangle. There are some missing corners. I'm gonna address that in a future video, but for this video, I just want to show you why I allocated the rooms the way I did. The whole west side is like really bad for me, okay? In the northwest sector is like complete bad luck. And the great thing about having a kitchen or a toilet in your worst direction ever, all of that negativity gets suppressed by the toilet, water line, the sink, the stove. So that's great. And I knew that. I knew going into this property that where the kitchen was located, that was like my bad luck direction. That was perfect for me. So it was like, okay, great. We've got one thing checked off, okay? The family room is the west side. This is my 6 killings direction. The southwest is my 5 ghosts direction. And my northeast is my total lost direction. Unfortunately, the northeast direction is where my primary bedroom is, okay? I mean, that's not great. That's not great, you guys. But on the flip side, my husband's wealth and success corner is in the northeast since he is of the West group. So I'm actually gonna optimize the primary bedroom for him since it's more auspicious for him. Are you guys following me here? Okay. So because my east side is where all of the auspicious energy comes from, that's why I knew that I was gonna dedicate anything that I did career-wise, home office, anywhere where I create content, anywhere where I feel like I need more abundance, I'm going to put there. So the east side, that little bedroom that you see, that's gonna be, that's turning into my walk-in closet. My career corner is over there, which is great because I'm gonna shoot content over there, okay? One thing checked off. My office is in my health direction, which is why that was so important for me to have access to that atrium so that I can go and meditate out there. Now the south corner, where some of you are like, you know, I think your husband deserves that office. Okay, now 2 things. Number 1, he does not work from home. Okay, this is a secondary space for him. We call it his office. Yes, his entire, 3 monitor system is in there, but he probably goes in there to like work maybe 30 minutes out of an entire day. So now would you give up the most auspicious room in the home for someone who's never there? And mind you, it's also his worst direction is his 6 killings direction, or would you give it to me? who it's my best direction, it's where I work from home, I'm there all day. So it's a no-brainer, you guys. Now here's where we get to his office. His office is in the southwest sector of the home. This is his growth corner. It's perfect for him. I mean, I wish it were a little bigger. So the laundry is here, okay? So the laundry is in the garage and it's adjacent to his office. My idea for this space in the future is to build out the laundry, like with walls and everything, and then I kind of enclose that off. And then there's an extension to his office that becomes almost like his secondary space. I want him to have a dedicated zone, and this is the zone where he's gonna grow and excel. The southeast corner of the home is my favored relationships and personal growth sector. It also so happens to be my daughter's greatest health direction for them. So I knew this, okay? I already knew this going into this home, where all of our favorite corners are. It was very easy for me to make this decision, and it was also very auspicious for us to get this house the way we did. Like I told you guys, we put in 6 offers over 2.5 years, and what's meant for you won't miss you. I truly believe that. I am happy to report that I have someone coming to inspect our bonsai. My goal and my wish is that they can uproot the bonsai safely, pot it safely, rehome it, and I'm almost even like, I kind of want it. I almost want to nurture it. I have an aversion to bonsais because in feng shui, the meaning of bonsai can take on so many meanings, right? Your energy is going to give it power. So the energy and my mindset behind that bonsai is like a stunted growth. Like the pruning, the shaping, there's an artistry involved, but you're also manipulating something that can just grow freely. So that's how I feel. I almost want to nurture it in the same way that like I rescue pups, like they just need a good home. They just need some love. And then once they have that, you can obviously set them free if you're fostering. But in this case, I might want to move it to the north corner of my backyard, which is also the water corner. You know, wood and water nourishes each other. They're in a productive cycle. So not only is the current bonsai in an inauspicious zone, it's my health direction, it's my well-being direction, it's also in the earth center. So anytime you have wood in an earth center, wood destroys earth, okay? Because obviously here's earth, and then all of a sudden something's growing out of it, and it's sprouting, and it's growing even bigger. That is destroying the earth, which is where you find your balance and your health and your harmony. So removing it is not just symbolic of me freeing up the tree, but it's also conducive to how I want to optimize the space for my own mental health and well-being. You know what I mean? So that's the plan, and that's what we have going on, guys. So now that you've seen the floor plan, you understand the feng shui behind this home and why I feel like it's just totally meant for us. You know, next up we've got the tree rehoming, and I'm meeting with someone this weekend. So I'm gonna film it. I hope that everything, oh my gosh, I'm crossing my fingers. Okay, you guys, like, I'm hoping everything turns out for the best, as it always does. And I do want to take a minute to thank all of the new members that are on this channel. I am going to create some content for you. I think a lot of the content is going to be a mix of lifestyle, not something that you're traditionally used to on the channel, just because it's so interior design heavy. Now I'm embarking on a renovation, so the videos won't be quite as polished. You know, I think I'm just gonna like film on the go and post them as I go, just so that you guys can see like what space I'm in right now. And I think it's just a little bit more realistic, and I'm excited. Coming up in the next couple of weeks, my husband and I are actually celebrating our 10-year anniversary this weekend, which is why I wasn't planning on making a video, because I'm in celebration mode. But I needed to get this out. Like, I feel like I just needed to get off my chest, put this down, kind of, you know, create this like foundation for you guys to know where I'm starting. But what's next is that we are going to design this kitchen, you guys. Okay, so the kitchen is up next. You're gonna go slab shopping with me. You are going to see me work out some of these floor plans, elevations. Oh dear Lord, I mean, I haven't touched CAD in like seriously for a minute, you guys. Okay, so all of that is coming up next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Oh, I forgot to show you guys the back of my jacket. Look, it's Hello Kitty and Friends. Look how cute! You see? We're ready for Lunar New Year. Year of the Fire Horse, February 17th, 2026. It's gonna be a wild year, you guys. Can't wait.